Let me go back to the beginning, to the night of May 31st. There were lots of end of school celebrations going on that night. Whites were having a school play at the convention center, now the Brady Theater. Black Tulsans were having their play at the Dixie Theater. My wife, Clodie Lewis, also a Tulsa race riot survivor, was 10 years old, and she was in the play being performed by black high school seniors. My friends and I had a lot of experience in jumping onto jitneys going from our home in North Tulsa to downtown Tulsa. This is how we boys would steal rides. The jitneys would come into North Tulsa and pick up people all along Greenwood, Pine, and the Addition outside those two areas and take them downtown. The jitneys all had a spare tire on the side of the vehicle. If a boy jumped upon the slow-moving jitney, he could grab the spare tire and hang on for a free ride. The driver couldn't see the kid hanging onto the spare tire. His vision of that area was blocked. We'd cling to that tire and we'd jump off when the jitney crossed Cameron and Greenwood streets. Then we'd slip into the Dixie Theater, and that's what me and my buddies did the night of the 31st of May, 1921. But after the play had been on only 10 minutes, the bright lights of the theater came on. The manager asked us all to leave. No explanation was given. Outside, we heard and saw all kind of confusion, people running, people upset, people talking about a race riot being on. We boys didn't know what a race riot was, but we sensed that this was something serious. So we each caught a jitney and rode back into North Tulsa on a spare tire. We jumped off in the Addition, now the Greenwood and Latimer Place area. When we got off the jitneys, we were talking about the term race riot. One boy told me to ask my daddy what a race riot was. So I did. My daddy said, "Boy, what you talking about?" So I told my daddy what had happened at the theater and about the people rushing home and talking about a race riot being on. We told him about the jitney drivers yelling out at people, warning them like Mr. Wilson Jarrett and Mr. Wilson to get guns, to get ready to defend themselves because a race riot was on. My daddy put on his hat and said he was going to check things out for himself. He came back later and said it looks bad. He carried us out to Mr. Holderness' house. Two of the Holderness sons, Len and Clark, in their 20s, went to Mount Zion Baptist Church to help a protective brigade fight off mobs entering Greenwood. They survived, but many black men were killed when white mobs broke through and heavily attacked the church, which was falsely accused of being a storehouse for ammunition. Anyway, there were about 8 or 9 black families hiding at the Holderness house in the section line Addition where Pine Street is today. Before Daddy left, he gave Mother his gun and told her to use it if she had to. When the white mobs came across the Frisco Railroad, blacks put up a brave fight to keep them out of North Tulsa. But they were outnumbered, so the whites forced their way into Greenwood, shooting, wounding, and killing many blacks and burning down everything in their path. They even burned Mount Zion Church, where those brave men fought so hard to keep the mobs out. Horace Pegleg Taylor said, "They're getting too many. They're killing too many of our people. I'm going on the hill and take them." He was talking about the hill between Haskell and Jasper Streets, Brickyard Hill. Later, he and the blacks who were defending North Tulsa moved on to Standpipe Hill to try to defend the people of North Tulsa who were under attack. Pegleg and the other black defenders met and conferenced behind the steps of Paradise Baptist Church. Then they made a human chain and went up the hill to defend blacks from the white mobs. They told 3 of us young black boys, Douglas Jackson, Virgil Whiteside, and me, that we could help to defend our people. They told us that the mayor of the city of Tulsa had opened the armory and given 2 machine guns to whites, and that whites were using those machine guns to mow down our people. They told us we could be part of history, that we could help defend North Tulsa. And so we did. Our job was to stay behind the steps of Paradise Baptist Church and load and reload guns for the human chain of black defenders. And so we did. But the shotguns and rifles those black men had could not compete with those machine guns. But those brave men sure did try to save North Tulsa, and me and my buddies sure did our part to help them. We used hatchets to open the boxes of ammunition that the jitneys had brought in earlier. And we kept those guns loaded and reloaded, and we kept that assembly line going, the passing of those loaded guns to the human chain. But it was all in vain. Those brave black men were outnumbered, and they were picked off by the white mobs and by guard men in uniform who were firing those machine guns. Still, our black people put up a brave fight, and my buddies and I were proud to be part of that movement. We lost everything. Everything that we owned was burned to the ground. What I miss most were the family photos that we had in our house. My father had lots of photographs of family in our house, and those can never be replaced.